Welcome to the Fundamental of GIS series of History of GIS. Today we are going to talk about the commercial era for GIS from 1976 to 2011. The majority contents of this slide is from Eric Hall, Bill Moreland, Craig Growgrass, Don Cookie, in their June 2013 presentation. Okay, let's overview what we are going to talk about for this era. Of course, we will continue with the timeline of GIS development, some key academic developments, and some significant contributors and personalities. Of course, the commercial technologies. And here we have Cold War's influence. As you know, many developments of GIS originated in the Cold War for the military part, and impact of computer technology and the Israel's role. Okay, back in 1976, Kenneth Appel and the Wolfgang Haken, Illinois, proved the four-color map theorem. It was the first major theorem to be proved using a computer. Their approach started by showing that there is a particular set of 1,936 maps, each of which cannot be part of a smallest sized counterexample to the four-color theorem. A specific purpose computer program was used to confirm that each of these maps had this property. And Gray Research releases the Gray one. What is that? So it's more commercial that they had 8.8 million, which equals 32 million today, US dollars today. It has 136 mega flops, 80 M heads, 64-bit vector processor, and over 80 machines were sold. IBM. For IBM, the Blue Genie Q will be 20 petaflops in 2012. So back then, they had 160 million times faster compared to today's one, and 98,204 nodes, 1.6 million cores, 1.6 pp RAN, covering 3,000 square feet, drawing 6 megawatts of power. And move to the X25 packet switching network, a standard developed by the International Telecommunication Union, was approved in 1944, formed the basic of the SERC network between British academic and research sites, later became GNet. Used for the first dial in public access networks such as CompuServe and TimeNet. Steve Jobs, very important people, and the Steve Wozniak founded Apple. Wow. Now I'm using a Mac, I'm using iPhone, so very important. Very interesting thing was that Apple was the first product, 666.66. So each hand built by Woods. I think he liked repeating numbers. Bill Gates, another very important person, that, you know, his famous company, Microsoft, writes the open letter to hobbyists where he expressed dismay that the rampant copyright infringement taking place in the hobbyist community, particularly with regard to his company's software, Atlas Basic. Gates asserted that such widespread copying ineffective discourages developers from investing time and money into creating quality software. The reaction was strong. Many felt that the software should be bundled with the machine, and the current distribution method was Gates' problem. Others questioned the cost of developing software. In 1977, Digital Equipment Corporation introduced the VAX 11780 32-bit mini computer. The commercial pioneer in using virtual memory development led by Gordon Bell. The VAX virtual address extension was same as a 32-bit extension to the older 16-bit PDP family. VAX and WMS was the native OS. 11780 used as baseline in CPU performance benchmarks with its 1 MIPS speed. Moved to Global Positioning System in 1978. The first experimental block satellite launched by Roger Easton. Second is Bill Joy leads released the first version of BSD Unix. Second BSD version launched a few months later with the full kernel source code, became the backbone of the internet and introduced the open source concept. The first spam email was sent from Thurrock and the December memorable. Great track. 1979 is very important because that the CGIS was recognized immediately in the Harvard University Laboratory for Computer Graphics and Spatial Analysis to developed general purposes GIS that could handle the needs for both applications. So this project eventually led to the Odyssey GIS. And Odyssey GIS developed at the Harvard lab. Important, please remember that. The first significant vector-based analysis package was efficient, considered by some of the prototype contemporary vector GID. Began as research into data structures and algorithms for spatial analysis in 1975 to 1979. And Oracle released the first commercial SQL, and ArcGIS, we use SQL for the queries. The structure query language. Relational Database Management System, RDBMS, shipped before IBM System T first release was version 2. And moved to the 1980s, second GIS phase. The GIS was purchased to evolve towards analysis. More functions for user interaction was developed mainly in a graphical way by a user-friendly interface. The ability to sort, select, extract, reclassify, reproject, and display data suppliers increased their knowledge on existing and growing data analysis techniques, specific subject matters, for example, used in ecology and hydrology and data context issues. While data storage still mainly centralized, the user access became more decentralized. And the guy we already mentioned, Don Cookey, if you review the GIS person in the GIS people theory. Geographic Data Technology, GDT, was founded by Don Cookie. The major Tiger Data digitizing contractor in the mid-1980s and data supplier to the Census Bureau. 1981, so IBM released the personal computer. The model is 5150. Adams, and I have a picture to show. And Adam Appsbaum complete. Oh, the first portable computer. The Appsbaum, which weighed 24 pounds and cost 1,795 US dollars. USRI held its first user conference and was attended by 16 people at the USRI campus in Redlands, and representing 11 user sites. USRI size about 30 employees. So this is the computer developed by Don Exchange. He realized that cost-effective requires third-party hardware and software. The starting price is $1,565. It equals like 3,700 US dollars today. It's very important. It's very expensive, and it's using it used the Intel A0AA CPU. It's kind of like 4.77 MHz, 16 bits, and 16 KB RAM. Wow, that's so tiny now. 16 KB RAM and 160 KB 5 to 5 inches floppy drive and 63.5 W power supply. PC named the time 1982 Man of the Year. So in Chinese we call it electronic brain. So Man of the Year. And we could talk about more for the Adam Appsbaum for the portable computer. So this machine features a 5-inch display, 64 KB of memory, a modem, and a 2.5 1/4-inch floppy disk drive. The machine was a big success, and the follow-ups looked pretty promising. But in 1983, Obscure pre-announced the next generation before it was built, cutting the feet out from under the existing machines and triggering the collapse of the company in a few months later. That's why I never heard of it. And the Appsbaum effect became a textbook example of how not to do it. And move to 1982. Israel releases ArcInfo.1, the first commercially available GIS software package, which ran on mainframe computers, was released. And followed CGIS idea of spreading attribute and locational information, combined a standard RDBMS info to handle attribute data with specialized software to handle objects stored as ARC. A toolbox with command-driven, product-oriented user interface. First GIS to take advantage of super minis. It took 9 months to develop. The first GIS to take advantage. And then we moved to the Soviet Union, the Grosness experimental Block 1 Navigate satellite launched. A global coverage completed in 1995 a second-generation satellite navigation system, proving on the system provided position accuracy of 55 to 70 meters horizontal and 70